Hey guys, welcome back to another video at Jensen's Reptiles. I'm sorry there wasn't a midweek video this week. I've been crazy busy, but I definitely wanted to catch up on the weekly history so that you could see another one of the snakes. So today we're going to be looking at Indi, who is hiding here behind his thermo high grow. Indi is a platinum corn snake. He's still just a little guy, as you can see. He's the smallest of the bunch here, and he has a lot of growing to do, but being small doesn't mean anything as far as his character goes. He is full of personality and a great little addition. Until I brought the camera out and he got a little bit worried, he was actually following my hands around seeing if he could come out, so we'll probably get some handling clips of him in just a moment. But I'll show you Indi's enclosure. So this is a 2-foot Viv Exotic, as you can see. It's 2 foot wide, it's like 1.5 feet high, 1.5 feet deep. It's a perfect little baby enclosure. I always say about snakes, giving them more space is hugely beneficial, and as Indi grows, he will certainly be upgraded. But while he's small and I want to handle him and have him get used to me, which he's doing brilliantly, I want him in an enclosure that gives him enough space to climb and hide and explore, but not too much space that I can't find him when I need to get him out, because as you can see, he's just a little guy. So if he were to hide in an enclosure twice the size of this, it would take me twice as long to find him. So currently he's happy in his little 2 foot, he eats perfectly. He's currently on fuzzy mice, so he's just moved up to those. He's quite curious, so he's probably going to follow around the camera a little bit to see what's going on. Indi's a platinum corn snake. I'm not sure if I said that already or not. He's a beautiful morph. As he grows, he should get some more yellowing down the sides of his body. But currently, I don't know if you can see it, he's got these gorgeous little red cheeks. Indi's full name is Indigo. Thanks to the colour of his eyes, he has these striking blue eyes, which are really hard to see without a light shining on them, but you can just about see the blue ring around the pupil there. Really cute little eyes, and the name Indi just stuck, so that's how he got his name. Indi came from my local pet shop. He's one of the few animals here that's not a rescue and not a rehome, so he was kind of picked out and paid for, and I'm so happy to have him. He's a gorgeous little guy. He's full of personality, full of energy. It takes quite a lot to phase him. He is great being handled, and he's super active, so he explores most evenings. He also likes to hang out up at the top of his tree behind all of the foliage up there. He likes to sit on the cable of the lighting, which is a little bit irritating because I'm pretty sure it's slowly pulling the cable out, but that's fine, I just leave him to it. Now, the temperature that you're seeing here is an ambient temperature, so don't be concerned. It's not his heat, that's just the room temperature. So it's always quite warm in here, nice 24 degrees. And then underneath the aspen here, he has his heat mat. Now, I'm not going to move everything completely. I just realised I said aspen as well. This is actually lignocell. I have a glass panel at the bottom of this enclosure, so the heat mat is not touching any of the wood. In an enclosure like this, where it's wooden, you see it's on, you know, another vivarium here, I can't have a heat mat kind of overheating in an enclosure like this. It's a fire hazard. So I use these glass inserts from Viv Exotic. You can get them on Amazon and a couple of the reptile websites if you're here in the UK. All you need to do is stick the heat mat to the underside and you slide it in. It slots firmly into the back, so the snake can't get into it either, and that means the snake can't come into contact with the heat mat directly. It also means the heat mat is protected from any spillages or anything like that. So if Indi were to pee all over this kind of whole section here, the heat mat's not getting touched at all. So the warm side, it sits at about 28 degrees, which is a nice little temperature for Indi, and he often hangs out in his hide over there. I try to give him some smaller hides because, as you can see, he's tiny. So these hides that I have for him are quite large, and initially I had these little coconut hides in here for him, and he just wasn't using them. he would either sit out in the open or he would sit up in his tree. So I thought, instead, I'll try him with some larger hides and see if he likes those anymore. They give him kind of the same surface area on top as they do underneath, so he can always kind of sit and bask as well. But I really wanted him to be able to use his heat mat. But he seems to really like the larger enclosures. He spreads out inside them, or he huddles up kind of to one side. But yeah, he seems to like them much more than the tighter hides. So if you have a snake that's not using its hide, then sometimes it's worth kind of swapping them around a bit and seeing if there's another one that they like a bit more. We have that luxury here because there are so many snakes, so many animals, that there's always spare stuff, especially for a little guy like Indi. There's usually spare baby equipment everywhere, but he just wasn't enjoying those really tiny things, so these work a lot better for him. As far as lighting goes, for Indi, I just use a single 1 foot white python LED light, and at the back there he has the night light, which is just for viewing only. It's not on all night. He has complete darkness for most of the evening. It's just so if I need to feed him after dark, or if I need to check on him, then I have a lighting there without having to turn on kind of a full white light. But he has lots of climbing areas, so he's got a vine going up off to this side, which goes right up to the top there, and then of course the branch going right up to the top on that side. So he can use pretty much all of the space in the enclosure. I could maybe put one more vine in, going from the top of the branch there, maybe down to this bottom corner, and then I think he's definitely got good use in here of the space. So as far as baby snake enclosures go, especially corn snakes, I do like to give them climbing space. I think it helps their development, helps them grow nice and strong. Corn snakes are quite prone to getting overweight really quickly. Ziggy, who is one of my other corns, who I showed in another video, is a little bit chunky. That's part Ziggy being lazy and part his tank not being hugely appropriate for him right now, which is something I'll always hold my hands up to and say there are some things I need to change. So that's always something I'm going to work on, from young snakes right through to adult, to make sure they have lots of room to climb and use that space well so they stay fit and healthy. But that is Indi's enclosure, and that is Indi. I'm going to see if he'll let me handle him for a bit and hopefully get a little clip of that. So bear with me one moment. So just so you can see how tiny Indi is next to my hands. He's a little bit jumpy right now because he's in his enclosure, but you can see just how small he is. That was probably a little foolish to handle him so close to his enclosure, because he's just jumped straight off into the branch, and now I'm going to have a hard time getting him out again. So actually what I'll do is I'll just leave him. That was completely my fault. As you can see, he's popped his little head out, because even though he's gone haha, got away, he's still really curious about what's going on. There he is. Let me just have a little look at him. So this is actually where he hangs out quite a lot of the time. He really loves it, up at the top of that branch there. But yeah, I will get a better handling video at some point and probably merge it with all of the snakes so you can see the handling styles, how different it is with each of them. As usual, any questions about corn snakes, baby corn snakes, Indi in particular, or even just his enclosure, let me know. I will answer your questions best I can, so do drop them in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed already and you'd like to, this is the kind of content you can expect, along with some product reviews and some care type videos every now and then as well. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will catch up with you guys soon.